Hey everyone, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. Before we begin, this is a short form version of a longer class that we have in our Patreon account. So if you did this class and you loved it and you wanted to explore it in a little bit more depth, I'll leave the link for the class in the description below. You can also access all the other longer classes that I've posted over the year that we've had Patreon, and you also get to see a little bit more behind the scenes content there as well. This class we're going to be working up into a variation of a pose called Durvasana, and it's basically a standing balance where you have one foot on the ground and one foot behind the head. Now there's no way that we're going to be working towards this posture in this short amount of time that we have, but we're going to play with a variation of it. So we're going to be opening through the hips, the spine, also playing with a little bit of balance as well. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to start in Sukhasana, a cross-legged position. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, lift up really tall. And then as you exhale, close down the eyes. Draw the shoulders down the back body. And we're just going to use the next few moments just to settle into our space. Letting our attention drift from our external things around us. So any noises that you might be able to hear, any smells, anything you remember seeing in your space. And then turning it into a more internal gaze. So noticing how the body is feeling at the moment. But also how, the mind feels. What's the experience that you're having in your heart space at the moment? Yoga meets us wherever we are. You don't have to turn up on a mat in a certain way. And these check-ins are really good just to gauge a bit of information about what we might need from our practice today. Let's take about 2 to 3 more breaths here. Really trying to breathe a little bit deeper into the belly, the ribs and the chest, finding the 3-part breath. And then as you exhale, just like a balloon, deflating, letting the air come out through the nose, keeping the length in the spine though. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths, starting to constrict the back of the throat for Ujjayi Pranayama, making a wave-like sound, especially as we exhale, and that's going to help us retain control of the breath. Begin to open the eyes. Take your hands behind you. Now you might like to come to the side of your mat for this next part, especially if you're on a hard surface like me. Take your feet out wide, and then we're just going to simply drop the knees from one side and then to the other side. Keeping the chest up really tall, spine is long. If you notice yourself rounding, maybe walk your hands a little bit further away from you or move your feet out a little bit more. Likewise, if you can keep your spine long, maybe you try this without any hands. So just moving the knees around side to side, focusing on kind of our hip mobility, our hip movement here. The next time your knees drop over to the left, hold there. Now feel free to stay down or push through the shins, lift yourself up into kind of a kneeling position. Engage the glutes, a little tuck of the tailbone. Slowly start to hinge your hips back. Keep the spine really long. Land the hips down. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward. You can have your hands down here for support, or if you felt like more, hands come behind you. Breathe in, lift up. As we exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So right hand comes around the left thigh. Turn your eye gaze down your left shoulder. Really tall spine here. Come back through center. Breathe in as you lift the knees up. As we exhale, drop them over to the right. Stay down or push through the shins. Lift up, engage, breathe in. Hold for your exhale, shoulders down. Hinge your hips back, breathe in. As you exhale, lean over with or without the help of the hands. Let's do this one more time each side. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, drop the knees over. Breathe in, lift up tall. Hold for your exhale. Hinge your hips back, breathe in. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. One more in your own breath. So what we're doing here is that we're moving the hips a little bit. We're kind of opening through the adductors, through the glutes, but we're also moving through the spine. So we're folding forward, starting to get deep hip flexion, as well as spinal rotation as we twist. Nice job. Come back through center. We're going to come into a down dog facing the front of our mat. So plant the hands down shoulder width distance, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Maybe you pedal out the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. Pushing through the hands, starting to draw the chest back towards the thighs. And then find a moment of stillness. Pushing the heels in the direction of the ground, but they don't need to touch. Don't worry about that if it doesn't happen. Bend your knees maybe a little bit more, especially for the first one. Use your next breath in. Let's sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As we exhale, start to roll yourself forward. Tap the right knee towards the right elbow. Then step the right foot outside the right hand. Lower the left knee down. And then start to pop yourself up onto fingertips. Lift the chest up really tall. Shoulders come back. You might stay here. You might come to the outer edge of the right foot. And then right knee is going to drop out to the side. This is going to help to get a little bit more into the external rotators. Maybe stay here or plant the left hand down. Right hand can come to the thigh. Take a deep breath in as you start to open the right shoulder back. As you exhale, can you scoop the left shoulder underneath more? Breathe in, come back through center, plant the right foot, right hand down, tuck onto left toes, lift the left knee off. As you exhale, step your right foot back, chaturanga, tuck the elbows in by the ribs, knees or toes, come down onto your belly, untuck the toes. Breathe in, cobra, bhujangasana. Could be low, could be high. As you exhale, lower yourself down. Breathe in as you push up onto your knees. And then as you exhale, transfer your weight back towards your heels. Child's pose. Come back here at any point in this practice. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. Take a deep breath in, shift your weight into your hands. As you exhale, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Use your next breath in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog, squaring hips and shoulders here. Exhale, start to roll forward, left knee towards the left elbow. Set the left foot outside the left hand, lower the right knee down to the ground. Just make sure that your left knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Pop yourself up onto fingertips, lift up really tall, deep breath in. As we exhale, drop your hips forward a little bit more. Imagine like it's trying to pull to your left heel. Stay here or open the left knee up to the side. Come to the outer edge of the foot. Maybe the right hand plants down and you twist towards the left. So drawing the right shoulder underneath the left shoulder back. One more breath. Get heavy into your hips here. Come back through center, plant the left hand down, tuck onto right toes, lift the right knee off. Breathe in as you step your left foot back into your plank position. Exhale, chaturanga, knees or toes. Option to come halfway this time. Breathing in cobra or upward facing dog, thighs off the ground, lifting tall. Exhale, downward facing dog. or at any point come into Balasana, child's pose again. Okay, we're going to add on quite a bit to that sequence, just to warm things up a little bit more. Use your next breath in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, roll forward, right knee to right elbow. This time we send it straight back up, three-legged dog, breathe in. Exhale, left elbow. Breathe in, lift it up. Exhale, right elbow, hold here. Set the right foot outside the right hand, lower the left knee down. Breathe in as you start to open the right knee out. As you exhale, you might take the twist, right hand to right side, turning the right shoulder back, left shoulder underneath. Lift up really tall. Come back through center, plant the right foot down, right hand comes down. Breathe in as you tuck left toes, lift the left knee off. Maybe you stay here, or as we exhale, you might also walk your fingertips out front. It could be a little bit, it could be a lot. Can you get really alert through the lower body? So push the right foot into the ground, hug the right knee into the ribs, broaden through the collarbones, through the shoulders, so spreading them wide. One more breath here. Start to walk your hands back towards you. Let's turn to the back of the mat. Breathe and pivot to the left, turn the left toes away. As we exhale, Skandasana. Left knee bends, right toes lift up. Now, first time here, you might have your hips up a little bit higher. You might have the heel off the ground. It's totally okay. Hands could be down for support, or you can bring hands to chest, trying to squeeze the shoulder blades back, turning the right toes up to the sky. Let's go, one more breath here. Push out of the left foot, warrior two. Breathe in as you turn your right toes forward, left toes to the side. Exhale to land. So we're trying to square the hips and shoulders to the side here. Right knee presses forward, shoulders are down. One more breath. Start to shift your weight forward into your right foot, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Breathe in as you lift your left foot up. Keep the twist to the left with the chest. Exhale, hold. Maybe the right hand floats. Maybe the right hand comes down onto the shin. And whenever we're practicing balance, we're trying to practice accepting whatever comes up. If we fall over, it is what it is. Take a breath and we come back into it. Keep the arms wide, we pivot to warrior three. Breathe in as the left hip and left shoulder comes down in line with the right. Exhale, hold, aiming for about parallel with the ground here. Hands might start to come back. One more breath. Shoulders down the back body. Utkatasana, left foot next to the right. Bend your knees, breathe in as you lift your arms above your head. And then as you exhale, sink your hips back. Weight towards the back of the heels, back of the hips. A little engagement through the glutes and the core. Breathe in as you lift all the way up. Urdhva engage the glutes. Exhale, hands by the sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Roll the shoulders down. Lift up really tall. Use your next breath in, arms left, Urdhva. Maybe you look up to your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Lift halfway on your breath in, hands to shins. As you exhale, hands down, step back into your plank position. Breathe in as you shift your weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga, knees or toes. Inhale to your back bend of choice. As you exhale, sending it up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in the back. Find that 3-part breath, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, let it go. Okay, let's try that on the other side. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Keep the left hip in line with the right. Exhale, roll forward, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, right elbow. Breathe in, last time, lift it up. Exhale, roll forward, left elbow, hold here. Keep pushing away from the ground, protract your shoulder blades, and then step your left foot outside the left hand, lower the right knee down. Breathe in, start to open the left knee out. And then as you exhale, you might twist here, left hand to left thigh, dropping your hips forward, chest is up. Breathe in, come back through center, hug the left knee in. As you exhale, tuck onto right toes, lift the right knee off. You might stay here, hands down, or you could start to walk your fingertips forward. Try to get really light through the fingertips so we're not holding all of our weight down. And you could even practice maybe lifting your hands off for a second or two to see how your legs are supporting your weight rather than your hands. One more breath. Use your next breath in, start to pivot to the right, Skandasana. Right toes turn to the back corner of your mat. So you exhale, hips towards the right heel. Remember, might look a little bit different from the other side. Hips might be higher, hips might be lower. Aim to get the left toes out, up, to try rotate through the hip. Use your next breath in, start to push away. Left toes turn forward, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. As you exhale, soften to the hips again. Reach the arms in opposite directions, long fingertips. Breathe in, start to shift your weight forward, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand reaches down, right hand reaches high. Exhale, hold. Lifting the outer edge of your right foot here, engaging the core. Little tuck of the ribs to the hips so we're not flaring through the ribs here. Keep the arms long. We open into warrior three, grounding the right hip and the right shoulder in line with the left. A bit tricky for our balance. Hips and shoulders square to the ground. One more breath. Can you make your back leg a little longer? Chair pose, right foot next to the left. Breathe in as you bend your knees. Scoop your hands down, then lift them high. Exhale, hold. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Can you sink a little bit lower into your legs? Push away, breathe in, kick out of the feet. Arms up. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Shoulders down, collarbones broad. Breathe in, lift the arms again. Exhale, fold forward. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, hands down. Your vinyasa, you can absolutely skip it out and go straight into down dog or child's pose, or moving through that sequence from plank with your breath. Okay. Once we get to the back, we've got one more sequence. It's going to seem a little bit familiar, but we're going to change it up slightly. We're also going to have a little play with some more standing balance towards the end. Use your next breath in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, start to roll forward, right knee towards the nose this time. Step the right foot in between the hands, warrior one, left heel grounds down. Lift your arms up on your breath in. Exhale, hold. So you're pushing your right knee forward, shoulders down the back, your left foot kind of on a 45-degree angle. Outer edge of the left foot plants down. A little tuck of the ribs towards the hips. Take another deep breath in here. As we exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. This is quite challenging for the left foot. So at any point, come onto your left toes, lift the left heel off. Take another deep breath in. As we exhale, left hand either comes down on the inside of the right foot. If you felt like a little bit more, you could take it to the outside of the right foot. We haven't done too much warming up into this pose, so just be mindful here that you're not forcing yourself into any position you don't feel ready for. One more breath. Release the twist, turn to Skandasana at the back of the mat. Breathe in, start to bend the left knee. Exhale, hold. Start to push away, warrior two. Breathe in, right toes turn forward. Exhale, hold. Draw the shoulders down. Ardha Chandrasana, breathe in, shift your weight forward. Pick up your left foot. Exhale, reach away. Same as before, warrior three. Breathe in, left hip comes down. Left shoulder comes down. Exhale, get Strong through the back of the body here. This time we come into stork pose. Breathe in, lift the left knee up, arms lift overhead, flex out your left ankle. As you exhale, bend your right knee, anchor your left ankle on top of your right thigh as you send your hips back into your Ardha Utkatasana. Okay, so from here you can absolutely stay. You can always touch your left foot down. If you felt like more, you could reach your left hand in between your left calf and your left thigh. There's like a little triangle there. Right hand can come to the outside of the right thigh. You're gonna reach down as much as you can. Maybe the elbow creases come around the shin. Okay, now you can absolutely stay here. If you felt like more, you'll push through your right foot and try lift yourself up to standing. Quite challenging. We haven't really worked too much in our class today. So yeah, just be mindful, be considerate. Whew, right foot. You can always come down, shake it out, come back in when you feel ready. But that's our variation of that pose that we're talking about. If you wanted to practice this at home, you could always try it as you go down. See if you can tap the hands to the ears and then lift yourself up. Makes it really challenging. Okay. Bringing the feet together again, Tadasana. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale your Vinyasa. Coming back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. One more time with that sequence. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, roll forward, left knee towards the nose. Set the left foot in between the hands. Right heel comes down, warrior one. Breathe in. Exhale, hold. So get a little bit weighty through the hips here. Really drive the right foot down, left knee presses forward, and it's a little pivot of the right hip forward, the left hip back. Take another deep breath in. As we exhale, active twist to the left. Right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back. We're trying to turn the ribs around our spine. Breathe in. As we exhale, right hand comes down. Remember, it can be on the inside of the left foot, can be on the outside of the left foot. At any point, come onto your right toes. Shoulders come down the back. Skandasana, start to walk your hands towards your right foot. Breathe in. As you exhale, sink low, lift the chest high. Warrior two, breathe in, push away. Open the arms, turn the feet. Exhale to sink. Half moon, breathe in. Open wide. Exhale. Warrior three, breathe in. Find parallel with the ground as best as you can. Exhale to hold, squeeze the shoulder blades. Engage the glutes. Stork pose, right knee lifts up, breathe in as you lift the arms, start to flex out your right ankle here. As you exhale, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, Ardha Utkatasana. Send your hips back, right knee presses down in the direction of the ground. Remember, you can stay here. If you felt like more, right hand comes in the triangle between the right thigh and the right calf. Left elbow comes around the outside. You might stay down. You might try lift up. Or remember, if you wanted that variation, which makes it even more challenging, you're going to try get your hands towards the outsides of the ears and then lift up from there. It makes it even more challenging for your balance, but it also means that there's more flexion through the spine. Whew. Oh, hope you've had fun. I think balance is always quite playful. We also have to let go of any expectation. Okay, we're gonna start to slow things down quite quickly. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. This time we stay here. You could just simply reach the hands behind the back of the calf. If you felt like something a little bit different, you might try lift up your toes and trying to walk them towards the wrist creases. If they don't quite meet the wrist creases, you might just have the tops of the fingers come down. So just work in with what you can today. If you can get any amount of your hand underneath your feet, see if you can pull, get a little bit of a tug going on. That's going to help lift the hips up a little higher, get the chest a little bit lower. Let's go 2 more breaths. Maybe keep the hands where they are. Breathe in. Can you imagine halfway lift? And then as you exhale, lower yourself down. Release the hands. Step back into your plank position. Take a deep breath in as you shift your weight forward. As you exhale, a final vinyasa here. Sending our way back into child's pose. Knees come down, hips come back. Start to walk your hands back towards you. Sweep your feet to one side, come onto your hips. Bring the feet out into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. All right, hands might be back. In fact, we'll all start there. Lifting up through the chest, squeezing the knees in the direction of the ground. Now, if you needed more space, you can always walk your hands away or feet away even more. If you felt like a little bit more, walk the hands close towards you. See if you can push through the hands, lift your hips up. Okay, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier for the knees to get a little bit lower. Try keep space between the shoulders and the ears though. One more breath. Lower your hips down for a moment. Take a deep breath in, hands around the ankles, lift up. As you exhale, fold forward, not too long here. Tuck the chin into the chest. Maybe the elbows press onto the insides of the legs. And then start to roll yourself up. Maybe keep the legs where they are. Breathe in, reach forward. As we exhale, we try to slowly roll down the spine here. So connecting the lower back down with the ground first, and then the mid back, and then the upper back until we land in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Maybe even closing down the eyes, letting the breath slow down. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, if you wanted to move your way out of it, with or without the help of the hands, just lift the knees, draw the knees inwards and the feet wide. You can stay here, or just like we kind of did initially, you can window wiper your knees from side to side. Feet wide here helps to stretch the kind of front of the hip flexors and quadriceps a little bit more. And then when you're ready, finding stillness. Whatever position works for you. Could be Shavasana, your corpse pose with your legs out, a little tuck of the tailbone. You could finish your practice in a seat. But see if you can use this transition space to reflect on the practice that has been. If it's shifted any energy around. And then maybe connecting with what we might need from ourselves throughout the rest of the day. We'll just be here for another minute or two in quiet. And if you've noticed any tension arise in the last couple of minutes, take a deep breath and let this go. We'll start to bring some more movement into the body, maybe taking some slightly deeper breaths. Just knocks the puppies over. How relaxing. When you're ready, we'll make our way up into a seat. Maybe grabbing the backs of the legs and rolling through one side. Cross the legs, just like how we started our practice together. Deep breath in through the nose, lift up really tall. Deep breath out, let it go. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm gonna clean up those flowers pretty soon, but that's just the nature of things. You never know what's gonna happen. Can't expect anything. So yeah, if you enjoyed this class, let me know, leave a comment, give it a like. Remember, Patreon is always there for you if you ever wanted to explore your practice in more depth. Thank you so much, and I look forward to moving again with you sometime soon.